Rotate device. Oh, it wants me to go this way.
So we do gotta do that. Can we even get everybody in?
Oh yeah, we can do it. You can...
Come on, use my lens if you need more of a stand.
I mean, I'm already live at this point. Yeah. Hey, look, y'all. No, that's not gonna work. How about just these?
These nuts.
How about back this up? Back this up a little bit. I got it, bro.
And those jeans.
Oh, hey, grab your camera out of here because I don't trust it.
Yeah, I don't need you dropping that again.
What's up, everybody? How's it going?
Is it really live?
Yeah, we're 48 seconds in right now. Just, maybe I'll hold the camera and I'll be in the background.
Press done without fucking...
How about that? I just get you 3 and then I'll just be in the back. That's tight.
Why don't we just set it up to where it works right?
But the thing is...
How'd you use that Ghostbuster statue?
I did not hear her. Hi, Karen. Hi, Mark.
Okay, we need one more fish.
I did not hear her. I want to see that movie. Just answer this.
Yeah.
I did not hear her.
How-
Oh, hi, Mark.
He makes him do it like 20 times, right?
Keeps looking at the camera.
I saw that movie. That movie's the worst movie ever, but I loved every second of it.
Alright, here we go. We're totally live. Nobody's
Knock it over when you get out.
nobody's watching us and it's all good.
You still realize it's gonna be in the video.
Shh. 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 Shut up. Shut up.
Hurry up, get over here. Just
Shut up. I feel like me breathing a little bit is going to knock it over.
don't touch it.
And I'm free.
Those jeans. I could have been singing this whole time.
Steve's just
I told you! It's just a weird thumbnail.
I want to see.
Oh my god, he looks
said
so
like-
sad.
It said, what it said was like, hey, you ready for the thumbnail? And I didn't have to press anything. It just said one.
Fuck it.
It said 3, 2, 1, and then I realized what was going on because it was trying to go horizontal, and it just busted that as the thumbnail. It looks like you're alone in the room, and you're like, I guess.
Yo,
Today-
so there's gotta be a way to switch it, because look how it's showing up. It won't even...
Can you make it bigger? Yeah, there you go. Way bigger.
I don't
Just
know.
press right screen.
In those jeans.
Press like full screen on your phone, and it makes it your whole phone. And if you're on the
Oh my
computer,
God.
I mean, you know, you'll be straight.
I should be singing right now so I can be discovered like Justin Bieber.
No,
No.
shut up! You said that line like 40 times now!
No one's responding
Shut
to
up
me.
about those damn jeans!
Those jeans.
Hey, you heard it, right? You heard the joke, right? Alright, go ahead. Introduce it.
Yeah, Steve, there's no format here,
Yeah.
just fucking
Or just-
go
Yeah.
off the cusp right now.
Welcome to Not Your Average Nerds live,
Yeah.
where we're gonna talk about some Star Wars: The Last Jedi. So if you have not yet seen the movie,
Turn it off.
get the hell out of here.
Yeah, go away.
Go away.
So why don't
You're
we
gonna
talk
be super
about
mad.
it without spoilers first, so people can actually watch the damn video?
Yeah, why don't we talk about the Star Wars
And
last
then,
so
and
we
then
can
we'll
get
do
people...
the spoiler one at the end. After we're done talking about everything else.
We have like 30 minutes.
Huh? Yeah, no, but still. I mean, is that all we're talking? Why the hell did you have me type all that out?
I don't know. Hey, well, you know, first of all, let's. Alright, here.
Let's
Let's
talk about Marvel and
Yeah, I
Fox
was saying. Alright, well, Marvel was bought out by Disney. No, Marvel. Disney
Disney
bought
bought
out.
Fox.
No, yeah, Fox. So now.
for $58 billion.
Was it 50? I thought it was 54.
I thought it was 58.
Pedro's hyping.
It could be. No, it could be right.
I think it's 58.
It's 58.
Is
And
it?
Disney bought Star Wars for $4 billion. So, I mean,
Wow.
that's a big price.
They overpaid.
Yeah.
They overpaid.
That's crazy.
But now ESPN owns Fox as well because they're part of Disney, right? Because Disney owns
No,
ESPN.
Disney owns ESPN.
Yeah, so now,
Yeah,
but
so
now
they
Fox
just
is in there.
own
So it's
both
not
of them.
only for movies too; it was for sports. So
Yeah,
now they own the
they
rest of that.
didn't get Fox Sports 1.
Yeah, they didn't want that, right? Yeah, they
No,
didn't.
because ESPN's trying to buy that.
Okay, but that still would be
ES
Disney though.
ESPN's trying to do this whole thing where they're trying to make it like ESPN for you. So like, you're gonna subscribe to ESPN. You're gonna be like, these are my favorite teams, and you're gonna basically just get news on them. So ESPN's in the works of buying Fox Sports. So that's why Disney didn't buy that.
But ESPN's a
It's-
conglomerate of
but
Disney.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
But okay, so what does that mean for the MCU now that they own all the material from Fox? Like, what does that mean now? Like, as far as the movies go?
Means that we're probably not gonna get a Deadpool 3.
Yeah, we will. Depending on
PG-13.
No, they said they would keep it R.
They're saying they're considering R.
No,
Read the articles.
Deadpool's already safe. They said they'll consider other R-rated movies if it fits the content, but Deadpool's already like grandfathered in. They cause yeah, that was one of the biggest concerns. That was like my biggest concern was I didn't want to see a watered down bullshit Disney Deadpool. I didn't want to see
You can't do
all
that
these
with
characters. Yeah, just become Marvel characters. I want to see them what they actually are, and I'm talking about like MCU characters.
You don't think they'll bring them into... Like, I'm wondering, now that they have these rights, who do they bring in now? Like, okay, does it change plans for, like, Infinity and stuff? Does it... Not for that movie particularly, but later on, like, the next one.
Phase 4. I think
Yeah,
Phase
does it
4
change
will start
plans?
seeing things. Well, I'm sure they probably have had this in the works for years now, so they probably had different pathways
Like a
to go.
plan B,
yeah.
hey, if we don't get them, we're going to do this.
Mhm.
But if we do get them, let's do... Because,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
Galactus is one of the things I was like, man, without, like, the deities and stuff in that Infinity Wars, once he gets the gauntlet, it's pretty much just like, what do you expect? When he gets the gauntlet and it's full, Thor, Hulk, Captain America, they don't matter anymore. Like, they can't do anything. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, like, that's why I was like,
I don't
well,
think
how do you
he's gonna get all
do?
the stones in them.
You don't think he'll get
Not
all
in
of them?
this first
But
one.
even he got 3. I mean, in that trailer, he gets
gets
3,
two. He
right?
gets two.
But he gets Vision's
Yeah.
stone. He's getting Vision stone off
So
of where
that'll
Loki
be-
is.
so that'll
That'd
be
be
three.
3.
I don't think we'll see it in this one. I think this is just the lead up to the actual war. And, like, this is going to be the war, but I think this is the lead up to the battle with Thanos. And I think the second part we'll get the actual where he gets every single stone. But yeah, because they're not going to introduce the stone and not give him every single one. Like, that's just a waste of an Infinity Gauntlet.
Right?
And
You'd have to play out, because not every stone is shown its full potential, I guess, like
Right.
in the movies. So I would almost want them to like play out those stones when he has them. Like, hey, I'm gonna manipulate this or whatever. You
Like
know.
he
What I
did,
mean?
Well, he already-
did
yeah.
that in the cartoon
Yeah.
version.
You think they're gonna show him breaking into the Nova Corp and getting it?
Oh, how they're protecting it?
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a job for the Black Order. Because I think they're going to have to give them stuff to do. And I think we're going to see like his little minions taking on those little tasks and everything. I think he's going to be the...
Well, that's one of his minions is the one taking it from.
yeah.
From
His
Vision.
right-hand man. I can't remember his name. He looks like a ghoul and everything.
But he's got like Loki's staff, right? And that what that is?
It looks like it.
It
but
looks
it's
like
a
it.
different set.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
they're from that Infinity storyline.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So I.
Oh, wow.
What was the other thing? What do you guys think about the trailer? Like, now that you've seen the trailer, what do you think about the trailer?
I thought it was a pretty dope trailer.
It was
mean,
dope. I like it.
I didn't like how they kind of didn't do the one that they showed at the Disney Expo. Like,
With Alison Brie in it? Or Allie Brie or whatever.
well, no, well, like he was telling me how they had a scene where Doctor Strange was throwing up a bunch of his platforms.
yeah.
And Star-Lord was
Star-Lord.
getting
yeah, how he
up.
was jumping at him? Yeah, I
Jumping
remember
on
that.
him.
That was cool.
But the thing is, though, too, in that trailer, Thor didn't have his eye patch.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's cut
because
then,
that
it's
was,
cut, yeah, it's
But
cut.
then at that too, like the scene where Thanos brings the moon closer, where he puts his gauntlet up and then he
I
goes.
didn't-
Oh,
I didn't
he
see
pulls
that.
in
Yeah.
he pulls in asteroids.
Yeah, he pulls in something, but he
Really?
goes to punch, and he goes like that, and then he comes in, and everything fucking zooms
I didn't see
in.
that. That
Yeah,
sounds
Yeah,
awesome.
you see like all these asteroids crashing on the ground.
I just
and
remember. I
everything.
remember the platforms as
Yeah.
Star Lord.
But I mean, overall, the trailer was still dope. I mean, you get to see Peter Parker's spider sense,
Oh yeah, it has
Spidey
hair.
sense,
Yeah,
and,
that's cool.
You see him in the Ultimate.
the
The
spider
iron,
suit.
yeah, the iron
That's
spider.
dope. Yeah, that's dope too. What do you think of his? Like, he looks almost too human to me now.
Who?
Thanos.
Thanos?
Yeah. Like,
Yeah,
they kinda
I
like-
saw
I like the
picture-
Sammy Sosa meme where he starts like super dark because he was portraying
Yeah,
a black
he-
guy in the first Avengers, and now he's rolling. So he went from like dark purple to like a light purple.
Like,
Sammy Sosa, Michael Jackson.
I saw one-
disease.
He looked like Rick. From
Yeah, the
fucking-
Pawn
from the Pawn
Stars.
Stars.
Yeah,
I saw
yeah.
that, and that was hilarious. But yeah, I don't
They're gonna fix his color.
I don't really care for his design in this one.
It's the color. There's the color, but to me, it was like he's almost too defined, like refined. His face is so like smooth And like, you know what I mean? Just
I
like
just think if they put his helmet back on him, he'll be good.
Yeah.
It bugged me that he's just hanging out in like Under Armour gear. He doesn't have any of his
where did all of his armor go? Like, okay, he's sitting in space. He's sitting in space for this many years, and just chilling with armor, and then he's like, "I'll go to battle, but I'm going to take off all of my armor." At this point, like, I didn't get that. Yeah, that was one thing that kind of bugged me.
So whose hand do you think Iron Man's holding on to?
Iron Man?
Yeah.
Dude,
Tony Stark's holding onto a hand like they're dying, and he's all crying like a little girl.
I don't remember.
Probably either
Captain America.
Yeah, I think it's
Captain or Rhodes finally bites it because he's in there.
But it was a white hand.
Oh, is it?
I don't want to see that. I don't want to see race here, but it was a white hand.
I wasn't paying attention.
It's gotta be
colorblind.
Captain America.
Oh, it could be what's her name? Pepper Potts.
Could be Pepper.
I thought she was confirmed for the fourth one.
Does she have? She has abilities.
Does she?
Yeah, after
No,
the third
he
Iron Man,
fixed
or
her.
did
He fixed her extremity virus or extremis.
Oh.
She had the extremis in her DNA, and he fixed that though. And then that's when he took out his chest piece.
But now he has a new chest piece.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm calling either Steve or
I think they're gonna kill.
or maybe they're just like
Hulk?
Pete got hurt. Maybe Peter got hurt or something, and they're just playing it up. Just
Who did he squash? Thanos. He's stomping on something. That's Spider-Man.
Yeah, he
right?
steps on Spider-Man, and then he punches
Iron Man.
Iron Man. And that's why I think maybe Pete gets hurt in this one, because it looked like the same scene. It looks like maybe him and Iron Man take him on in New York. Because
I feel like the first part of this movie is gonna take place in Wakanda, because he's trying to get the Soul Stone.
yeah, and that's when those little monsters start going in.
When you see like the whole battle
the
scene,
army, yeah.
I think that's all first half movie.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be all first half.
And then
movie.
And then his portal that opens up, I think that's the second part.
Yep.
And that's when
Peter
Pete joins the fight.
I think Peter Parker's gonna be in this movie second half, second, third act, and that's it.
And then they have because that's when because he's already kind of looks all fucking Stark looks all kind of fucked up when he's standing there next to Strange.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So like he's and then the Sanctorium's already kind of shattered in a little bit. They're all standing in the street. So yeah.
What are they doing? Like, cause he's got those portal things or whatever. His mystic stuff is up. You know what I mean? Like he's going like this, or they're both doing it, aren't they?
Yeah.
Strange in that.
When he
the
takes
other
him into that when he takes him to that street.
Yeah.
I don't know. Either that might be from like the comic storyline where he's opening up portals for other people to come into the fight.
Okay.
Maybe he's bringing people in from Wakanda.
Oh yeah.
That could be it. He's like opening up something for
I think
exactly.
Cyclops is gonna show up in this movie.
Cyclops.
Yeah. Surprise! We bought it. Here we have it in.
He's giving Cyclops from
whatever they're throwing down, fighting Thanos, and then all of a sudden everybody's getting their asses whooped, and you just hear.
That'd be dope. And then the jet comes.
And you see the jet, and then it cuts out, and we get ready for part two. Yeah, that'd be dope.
I'd be like, you guys are all gonna die. But
They just like fucking throw all their chips. The fucking jet comes in, and then
Silver Surfer comes around the
and then
sky.
fucking Johnny Storm comes underneath in a fucking fire flash.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool as shit.
You see fucking Reed Richards' hands come out. And anybody asks for some help?
It's clobbering time.
Yeah, you just see everything all at once.
That's like the last 30 seconds of the movie. And then it cuts out.
That would either be the greatest thing or that would cause the biggest riot. Everybody be in the theater like, and then it's just, dude.
Whoa! Yeah, that'd be the shit. It'd be dope.
I would rather go. I'd rather just hear that.
Or billions worth.
Yeah. I mean, they paid $58 billion. They might as well do some shit.
Let's get all
Some
of it.
historic.
I'm scoring.
Nobody
I'm
even
scoring,
cares.
baby.
Captain Marvel pops up and nobody even gives a shit.
Yeah.
And Brie Larson's like, here I am.
Oh, it's too late for you. You were a contingency plan. That's what happened.
So,
Am I still speaking?
how do you guys think they would
yeah.
introduce everybody into the MCU though? Like, let us know how you guys think they would do it. Do you think there'll be a post-credit scene where they like start leaking people in? You know, like at the end of it, they're like, all right, we bought this all. The movie's already filmed and made, so at the end of it, like they show like a pan out of like the Xavier school thing, or they just show
Do you think they'll use pre-existing characters from Fox, or do you think they'll be like, no, we need everybody new?
I think they have to reboot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're gonna do everything.
Right now, Kevin Feige has the option to either cancel all the sequels that are coming out and that are being made, or continue with them. Like Gambit. I haven't heard that Dark Phoenix is on the chopping block.
Touch that. I'm excited for that.
It's on the chopping block already. They're, if anything, it might go to a streaming service.
Oh, that would be terrible.
So, well, I mean, they have
to... They better not touch New Mutants. I'm so excited for that movie.
You know what else, too, though? Like, they should... Because if they keep these people, then it's like they didn't even buy anything in the end, It's like, how can they retouch up these things with all these older actors?
And older ideas,
you know what I mean?
Stuff, yeah.
So it's like, to go in a complete new direction, the smartest thing would be to just...
cancel everything.
Keep Deadpool, because Ryan Reynolds is fucking Deadpool. You can't find a better casting job than that. But, I mean, like, there's the girl that plays Storm in the new X-Men series, she sent out a tweet, and it was like, y'all funny. Y'all think just because the merger that people, or that recasting's about to happen, shake my head, laugh out loud. And I was like, yeah, wait till Kevin Feige sees that shit.
Why?
I think that's a publicity stunt. I think she's trying to get people to jump on
scared.
And... Well, yeah, and I think that's her way of trying to get fans to be like, no, you're great. I think they should keep the cast. And because that's what people, even when people put out pictures of characters, it's because they want people to react and be like, oh yeah, you should definitely play this character. Yeah,
but, I mean,
I think it's just publicity.
I just think they should all go. I think the
well, then if you're saying that, then there's no Hugh Jackman for Wolverine.
Well, he already said he's not doing it.
I don't want Hugh Jackman back. He closed his chapter.
Yeah, dude, he went out super fucking perfect. So, I mean, that was 17 years worth of fucking Wolverine from that guy.
Mm-hmm. I think it's time to recast him.
Yeah.
Give us a small guy.
But, I mean, even if they were to recycle some of those characters, like, if they, bring them into different characters, I guess, if they had to fulfill their contracts.
Oh.
But, I mean, you'd have to completely, could discontinue all that. You know what I mean?
Otherwise, people are gonna be holding on to old projects.
So it's like do a badass new Apocalypse. Don't do the fucking Ivan News guy. Do fucking badass Apocalypse. Like the girl that's playing Storm. I thought she was fucking horrible. I didn't like the new Storm, the young Storm. I thought that shit was whack as fuck. I just didn't like it. I was just like,
her accent bothered me.
It's just, and she was alright. She's pretty though.
But because they could do a whole new Storm, because Storm marries Black Panther. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So now they have that whole thing, so they can bring that aspect in with the X-Men and the Avengers, or X-Men versus Avengers.
That'd be tight.
That'd be fucking sick.
I think that honestly, now that you bring that up, that would honestly be a pretty good soft introduction into that world. If in Wakanda we meet Aurora Monroe.
Yeah.
And then she makes a mention of, I had to head back to New York. And then boom, just a soft little introduction to that world, bridging the gap between them. But yeah, I was telling him that if anything, I think they should keep the Deadpool castings and then just bridge out that world into it. If they're gonna do anything, but cast of X-Men.
They already have the X-Men cast, or the two.
Yeah, they're separate too because.
Yeah, but they have that. You know what I'm saying? They have that in there, so they'd almost. They could use that to.
Yeah, and then just get new X-Men.
Right.
Because they've never introduced any of them in that little thing. But yeah, I think those guys need to go and just. Give us Jim Lee's version.
I don't know. I like the X-Men movies.
I like them, but they could be better.
Movies. Yeah, they could be better. Way better.
But I mean, if they put that MCU touch on it, they put the whole Disney MCU touch to it. I mean, no matter how you look at it, no matter how you look. I mean, but look at the Sam Raimi Spider-Man ones. After number 2 was the best one. Number 1 was like, oh, cool. It was more just because you got Spider-Man for the first time. Like, yeah. The third one was ass. And then
terrible, dude.
And then so they brought Spider-Man in, and they're doing a good job with him. So I don't see how they couldn't do the X-Men, because in the X-Men cartoon they were always bantering back and forth with each other, so it's like perfect prowess for what they do here. You know, so I just plus the money they'll throw into it and the effects, and they, you know, the one thing I'll give MCU is they treat their characters like, you know, they won't Ivan Ooze the shit out of them. You know what I mean? Like, as far as Thanos, the way he looks, I mean,
but then
I think he's accurate, but he's just, you know, a little too polished. But I think they'll draw back, and when he puts his helmet and his armor on and goes, I think it'll look dope.
Or maybe it looks so polished right now because nobody's been able to touch him, and then you know, battle scarred Thanos looks different. You know.
I don't know. The one thing that worries me about that comment is Zemo.
Oh, Zemo. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, he still has to get his costume and shit.
Yeah, he was still just. He was honestly, he was kind of a side character in that.
Zemo.
Baron Zemo?
Yeah, see, exactly.
Who's the Zemo?
He's the guy who framed the Winter Soldier on Civil War.
The guy that looked
big.
like him
He's a big character.
Okay,
But they kind of...
I mean, I liked him in the movie. I didn't know anything about his character, but like
I'm saying, like, he didn't have his suit or anything.
His purple mask and shit.
He looked
essentially...
Is it purple or pink?
It's purple.
Like a pinkish purple?
Purple?
Oh, so like fuchsia? Yeah. Like a fuchsia color?
It's more like a puce.
So, alright. So that's that. Yeah. So that was cool. Like, I like it. I like cool. Alright, so anyways, what
I was gonna say we didn't really say what was going on. For those of you that don't know, X-Men and Fantastic Four are owned by Fox, and now they just purchased them, and that's why they haven't been in the MCU.
Yeah, if you didn't know that.
Yeah,
and then now Disney owns the TV rights to Batman.
Yep.
Man.
Gotham.
Yeah.
I don't watch Gotham. Really?
Mm-hmm. But not only that, they own
that Blu-ray.
They own the rights to every character in Batman lore for TV.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
I mean,
it is weird.
They could make a dope ass Netflix show.
Mm-hmm. There's discussions of selling it back. But
give us some of that billion back.
Yeah, but there's also discussions
we bought it for $58 billion, but really we bought it for $9. Thanks, Warner Brothers.
You can have Batman.
Yeah, so
I like Gotham.
I don't know. I think I would like to see what. I mean, if Kevin Feige had control of Batman, what he would want to do with it.
Yeah, man, if they did that and then their Batman was way better than fucking DC. Oh, fuck.
That'd be fucked up.
That'd be, yeah.
I mean, we only got Batfleck for the Flashpoint, and that's it.
What do you mean?
That's still not confirmed, though.
It's going to be confirmed.
Oh, you mean
Ben Affleck?
Justice League was supposed to be his last movie.
If you ever stumble upon this and you see this, be a fucking man and do your own Batman solo fucking movie. You owe it to yourself and to us. Don't fucking puss bot out and just fucking exit, dude. You weathered the storm. You see this? I was with them when they were 0 fucking wins forever.
He said, and they're still bad.
And they're still bad. I'm still here.
Now they only get 7 or 8 wins, baby.
Now he's not going to do it.
Bottom line, do the solo one. At least do that one. I want to see you beat the shit out of Jared Leto's Joker.
Yeah, see, that's one thing that bugs me. We still haven't seen them go up against each other.
Right now, hyping up that Jared Leto and then like not doing anything with them. When is that supposed to happen? When is that dropping? How long ago did Suicide Squad
they're doing a lot of shaking up right now.
It was last year? I could have sworn it was like 15 or something like that.
It was
last year. It was literally like 14 months ago when he came out. Yes.
It feels forever.
This dude.
It still feels so long ago. They're making a second one, right?
Well, shit, I forgot that Logan came out this year.
That came out this year?
Yeah.
Where the hell are you?
That was a 17 movie?
Yeah. Robin Williams right now. What year is it?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Logan was this year.
I thought that was like 2 years ago.
No, oh, Lord.
He said no one.
Alright.
So yeah, I just want to see what they do with the Batman properties. I hope they fucking do the right thing. And
if they
either
keep
something super badass or give it back to Warner Brothers.
And get some money back.
And get their money back, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're smart, you do that.
That's what I do and then repurpose it somewhere else. I'm like, what do we need this for? We don't need this for it.
So when does that DC stream service come? Is that coming next year or next?
It's early next year. Which they just showed the first picture of Alan Richson or whatever. The guy from Blue Mountain State. They showed Hawk and Dove.
Oh yeah.
And their suits look sick.
Do they?
They look
Yeah,
awesome.
they look really good. So they're showing more and more for Titans coming out, and but yeah, it's supposed to hit sometime this year.
Didn't they cast Connor Kent?
Did they?
Yeah, I swear. Don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure I was
Quote
watching
your ass.
something, and they had a thing where it was like exciting, or the mystery of Superboy revealed through Titans or something like that.
No shit.
I was like,
So we're
yeah.
getting Connor Kent. Okay.
That would be pretty fucking cool if that's true. And then, man, I've been waiting forever for Young Justice 3.
Mm-hmm.
Justice 3.
It's never coming.
It's coming.
Yeah, it's coming this year.
Hopefully. Shit, man.
So, Star Wars. Like,
He's been waiting to get to Star
He's
Wars.
like, the only thing I really know about
yeah,
is
no,
Star
I,
Wars.
look at that. I didn't see the last two movies. I still haven't seen Thor or Justice League. I promised myself I was gonna see it last week, and I didn't.
Do that, man.
I haven't done it. So I seen Star Wars, and I was like, yeah.
I was like, I can finally be part of the
fucking,
discussion.
like, I'm in it, and I got like some. I don't got a lot of shit, but I mean, I got some shit. I'm sure everybody does.
Yeah.
And
So if we're gonna talk about it, first off, what was your theater like?
wait. Beforehand, we might stumble. You know, somebody might fuck up and spoil the movie because it's gonna happen. And in the segment, we'll try not to.
Let's just start off by saying the movie's amazing.
Yes.
And you should go see it.
You should go see it.
Everybody can agree with that.
Turn this off and go watch it like right now, and it's awesome.
Yeah, and from here on, there's gonna be spoilers. We're just gonna talk about it and
Yeah.
let you guys know what we thought.
Yeah,
So.
Yeah.
Just don't.
So-
yeah, okay. I guess. Yeah.
So I'll say this: that the director, he did a good job on this fucking movie. Like,
I agree.
He gave you enough that made you keep questioning, but like answered some other questions. Fucking Luke Skywalker, man, that shit was dope. Like I thought that was probably his best performance as Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, I actually liked him a lot as Luke Skywalker. He wasn't whiny. You know what I mean? He was just like.
Yeah, he was like a dick.
I mean,
he was like not
he
a
was
whiny
kinda
dick.
whiny.
He wasn't whiny. He wasn't
He
whiny.
was an emo.
No, he was not whiny.
I loved him. I liked him
He
a
was
lot.
conflicted,
Yeah,
but he was more of
yeah.
like, you know what? Look, fuck. I'm not gonna teach you shit. Like this shit sucks. Like you shouldn't learn it. This shit's whack.
I just liked the concept he was coming up with about the Jedi.
Right.
You
Right.
know, like who the fuck are they? Like, you know,
To question it, right?
yeah,
That's
you know,
awesome.
Like we're just as bad as the Sith for trying to, you know, like one of us is trying to take control, so that means somebody has to have control.
Yeah.
Like, it can just be
Right.
be-
We should just be free flowing because
Yeah.
we don't own it. It's just
you know, if someone's
everybody
doing
has
it. If a Sith is doing something shitty and you know you can stop it, stop it. But if not, then whatever.
Just be a good person.
Yeah, don't
Yeah.
be a dick.
Don't
That's
be
a
a
life
dick.
lesson that
You
came down to.
don't need power. You don't need to be a legend to do good.
I was really mad about the race situation. They kept fucking like the whole time. They're like, "I know who your parents are." I'm like, "Who the fuck is their parents?"
Right? That, yeah.
And they're like, I was
That
like,
kind of did suck a little bit. I don't know if they built that up for a reason though, because like
Yeah.
even after the first one, you're kind of like, ooh, that was a selling point. That was a selling point. Like everybody was like, who is she? Like, is she Luke's daughter? Is she
Yeah,
so and
sending
so's
a
daughter?
Qui-Gon.
Yeah. So I mean, like,
she does look like a djinn.
that's where it's just like, it makes sense. Where it's like you're nobody. You're just you know whatever. It's just.
I think that because the thing that goes to me is like Obi-Wan Kenobi, he was like complete Jedi, so he followed all rules, no love, no children, no nothing. Same with like Yoda and Luke. I think he did the same thing just because he had to or whatever. You know what I mean? But like Qui-Gon Jinn was like Anakin in a sense. He was kind of like a gray Jedi.
Broke the
Broke
rules.
the rules
yeah.
and shit. So I think he would have been out in Pound Town. And
Unlike Steven.
and had fucking and had a kid, and then they dropped her off to cover, you know, so
Right.
he
So
knew
she,
he
yeah,
couldn't.
exactly.
And I think that'll be. I think
But she
that
would have been way older then.
Well,
could've been.
she would still be bloodline though. I mean,
Yeah.
if he had family,
Yeah, and then they had a kid or something.
which
like
still you can't count it out because her family members were just nothing. They were dirt, like how Kyla said. And if they did do that, if they took them out of the picture, they would have grown up not knowing anything. They would have not known about the Jedi or Qui-Gon. They would have just that descendant of his would have grew up, had a kid, which could have been Rey, and so it still is very possible. It's just
Man, I think that anybody could be born with the Force.
well, yeah, they show
yeah,
Yeah,
they show it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they show it.
So
yeah.
I mean,
But even then,
really,
yeah, Anakin-
I really think that
who was
how
Anakin?
it is in the movie
I'm saying
is-
who was Anakin before
Nobody.
Yeah, he was nobody. So he grew up.
Yeah.
You know,
So yeah, that's why I'm thinking that what
Metachlorians.
Yeah. I think it's good.
But I think the way that they're protecting it is for a reason.
You think
They're
so?
building it up for a reason. Like, I mean, it's Star Wars and it's gonna be the last one. It's got to go out like, oh
like,
shit.
oh wow, yeah.
This is the last episode 9 is
She's
the last
Emperor
of
Palpatine's
Skywalker.
daughter.
Last of that series.
Yeah, the last of the Skywalker
Yeah.
story.
Right. But then they have all the spin-offs. I liked, like you said, the director. Like I liked it. I don't know anything else he's done. I like
the director. The director's doing 3 more films, but he's not doing it in the Skywalker.
Oh, okay, really? Yeah, I liked the way he did it. Like, cause before I went to go see the movie. Visually, I loved the way J.J. Abrams presented the lightsabers, the way they were, the way they pulsed, the vibrance on them, and everything else. And I was watching the trailers of this movie. I was like, man, that blue saber is kind of dull. It's like, it looked kind of just almost white with like a blue hue. And I was like, that's kind of whack. I don't know about it. So I didn't know what everything else was going to look like when I was going. But everybody was like, well, he said, and then you said, they were like, oh, visually, this movie's awesome, right? Beautiful. So I go there, and I'm just going to give one thing. My favorite thing was that salt planet. Like, the particles, the amount of particles that they had to do on those shots alone for everything
must have been ridiculous.
Dude, yeah, I'm saying like everything they did for that planet, the when his foot's skipping as he's like slicing, and his foot skips and it just turns red, and just like when the ships are bringing up all that debris, and then they have that effect where it hits the camera or whatever at one point. I was like, oh my god, that's so cool. And then to go even further, when they go inside those tunnels in the caves, and the core is kind of made of that crystal, like the salt crystals. That was awesome to me. I was like, man, everything about this planet is dope. So that was like, visually, I was just like, oh my god, this is awesome.
I liked the red dominance in that movie. Like, the red dominance, like, Snoke's...
oh, yeah, his chamber.
Yeah,
the
Praetorian guards. And then, like, it was all red. And, like, I liked the red dominance
that shit was
in that.
dope.
Yeah.
That was probably my favorite scene of that movie. That fight scene.
Yeah.
With the Praetorian guards. Yeah.
I like that. For wrecking shit.
Yeah, I like that. Because Steve even mentioned because with the Black Series figs, like those were selling like crazy, and it was a big selling point. He was like, those guys are supposed to be all cool. I was like, I mean, they did go toe to toe with 2 of the best Jedi and Sith. Like, ever.
I thought they would put up a little bit more of a fight, though. Like
they still put up, I mean, think about it.
But I'm saying, okay, so you think that, like, Snoke would have been like, alright, if you guys can, like... If I'm Snoke, I'm like, I want people that can challenge me, right, to protect me. Because if not, then what's the point of having them in there? And they did go toe-to-toe with them, but how many were there? There were 6?
Yeah.
6 or 7?
See, but... What are the chances of having a Jedi and a Sith
work together?
Well, that and having 2 of them in the same room, in his chambers. Like, usually it's just Kylo, and I guarantee they would have pieced up Kylo.
They would have
against him.
One-on-one.
They would have fucked him up.
Yeah, one-on-one.
So it's just the fact that it was those 2, so he had help. And yeah, I mean, I still think they did a pretty good job on him.
Yeah, I mean, that was my second favorite scene of the movie. So
I just liked it because like the explosions in the background and everything, and
everything was falling apart.
Yeah, everything was just so well done.
That was cool.
And the way it followed the fight too was really good.
Pedro brought up that scene because I had forgotten about it, but it was like one of the key moments in the theater.
The greatest moment in my theater.
When she goes light speed through that fucking ship. Mm-hmm. That was like the coolest shit.
And like it goes dead quiet.
And then it's like a sonic boom or whatever. Shit was the coolest.
That was the most beautiful shot scene I've seen in a movie in a long time.
In my theater, everybody was like, "Holy fuck!" Like that shit was the dopest.
Yeah, in my theater, like it happens and everybody's quiet.
Yeah,
and then Mike Morales, who's sitting next to me, he goes, "Holy shit!" And then everything was like, "Whoa!" That was crazy and shit. Because it took us all by shock. We're like, wow, because it was dead quiet. It looked beautiful.
You know what was gonna happen because what she was gonna do, but when it happened, I was like I didn't think it would look that cool. Like I didn't think it would look as awesome. It just whoop, because all you see is that lip, and it's gone. Like it's sliced in half, and I was like, holy crap!
It just the way it was shot, and then the way they it was just so beautiful.
And visually, this movie looked like it took steps ahead of all the last ones as far as like how real everything looked. The ships looked super real.
Yeah.
Like everything on it just looked so real. I was like, man, this is like leaps ahead of what like the last one was. And like I remember the older movies just being like, I got a little bit better, but this one just seemed so much more real, like with everything.
Yeah, it was. I enjoyed the movie from beginning to end.
Yeah, I thought it was fucking cool as shit to see the code breaker who played him.
Oh yeah, he's funny.
Oh, he was DJ was my favorite character in the movie.
He's funny as fuck, dude.
Besides, I really liked Rose. Besides Rose, Benicio del Toro was my favorite.
Rose is cool. I didn't mind her. But yeah, I liked him a lot.
Yeah.
Like, he's like
He had that stutter.
Yeah, that's
I love the stutter.
Like, like how his hand was always like
switching.
Yeah, I like his little quirks in movies that he does.
Yeah, Benicio del Toro was great.
Yeah, he's a great character actor.
I can't wait to see what he does in the next
I
one.
remember when he came out, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. He was like, is that Benicio?
and when he's in the prison or whatever.
I
can do it.
They're like,
From
alright, guys.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I'm just saying. And he like, I like when the door opens, he looks at it like, oh shit. And then he like walks away like, he's like, oh, did I do that? Like, it's just, everything he does is just so, I don't know, just so different.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, I love him.
Yeah. He's always fun to watch on screen.
But dude, my shit was like when she comes to Luke and he fucking tosses his saber. And she's like, what the hell? And he's like, what do you think? That I'm just a legend? I'm gonna just walk out with a laser sword and just take everything?
Yeah, that shit was funny. I was like, yeah, you're right. They did that a lot in this movie where they played on their own lore. Like, they made fun of their own lore. Because Leia says, oh, I changed my hair, because of her hair.
Yeah, he goes, oh, I know what you're going to say. Change my hair.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, this,
and he goes, it looks good.
So many times in that movie, they did that. They hit on their own, like, the own lore of Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, because she's like, well, what is the Force? And then he starts explaining something, and then she's like, well, what is it? And he's like, and he's still trying to explain it, because it's like, they always have, like, in Clerks, they have that explanation of like, well, how does the Force know how to stop the lightsaber? So it's like, he was doing that a lot in that movie, and I don't know how many times he did it, but he did it quite a bit. Yeah. And that was one of the other parts. It's like, what do you think? I got a lightsaber and fucking the Force, I'm just going to go in there, take out the whole, army.
The order, yeah.
So...
that was the shit in Puppet.
Yeah, I was telling him that was a key thing for me is the way they use the puppet for Yoda.
Yeah, I know, because that's the same thing too. I thought the same exact
They did puppets for the foxes too. Those like little silver foxes. Some of them were puppets. Yeah.
Holy crap! I didn't know that.
But that was key for me too. Because I really don't want to see CGI.
They
exact. It almost looked exactly the same.
Yeah, it's the old one.
It's like they dusted him off.
Essentially, that's what they did.
And they starts hitting Luke. I was like, hell yeah.
That little shit's like.
That shit was tight.
I wanted him to put him on his back so bad. I was like, come on, carry him somewhere.
Slow down, do you?
Get down. All I kept seeing when he popped up the first time, I just kept hearing that fucking
song and single and shit. Yeah, that's all I can see too. That's all I can hear.
Put me down.
That rock-headed baby. That rock-headed baby.
Yeah, I don't know. When I saw him, I just started laughing because that's all I saw was that scene, and I thought it was so cool to see them. But when I was like, all right, Luke's gonna join the fight at some point, I thought Yoda, which he did, he convinced him to actually help out and lend a hand in it. But I so badly wanted it to show him and Yoda near the X-Wing in the water, and him use the Force to bring it up.
I thought
I told him 4 times. I was like, dude, if they don't show that scene, and when it showed it, I was like, and I was like, they're not gonna do it.
I thought when they showed the X-Wing in the water, I was like, oh, he's gonna. I thought he was gonna make Rey do it. Yep. Yeah, but then I was like, nah. So I guess this one, you know how they say the first one, Awakens, was like
A New Hope.
A New Hope. This one had nothing. It wasn't like it didn't feel. Like any of the other, it didn't feel like any of the other Star Wars.
It had scenarios that came full circle, but yeah, it didn't feel. It felt like its own movie.
Yeah, it felt different.
And that's why a lot of the Star Wars fans are hating it because they're like, "Oh, it's not the same."
Yeah,
but then everybody complained about
New
Hope
being the
and
you'll never please
everybody.
Yeah.
And you want to know what's crazy? Right now on Rotten Tomatoes, this has a lower score than Justice League for fans.
Mm-hmm.
No shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Which is fucking nuts.
It's at like a 62%
I haven't read any
audience.
reviews on this
So
movie at
bad.
all because I didn't want to have any kind of judgment going into the movie.
I don't need to. Like,
I can read all the reviews I want, and I'll still love it.
But I just didn't want to hear, I didn't want to hear somebody's take on it. Like, oh, I didn't like it because, this ship isn't that fast, in this movie, what the fuck? Like, all of a sudden, BB-8's faster than people. You know what I mean? Like, just something stupid.
I do have one complaint. Phasma did not get any better in this movie.
I actually thought she was better in this movie than she was.
Okay, wait. 2 steps?
No, so the ship's crumbling. What is she supposed to do?
So no,
Phasma was a punk bitch still.
So we went to go get Taco Bell, and like he was like asking me like, "Yo, so were the characters better?" I'm like, "Yeah, they were all great." And he goes, "What about Phasma? Was she awesome?" I'm like, "I'll let you decide."
I thought she was alright. She beat Finn's ass, right?
If
How do you get up out of the thing?
There was something coming up.
So just by luck, pure luck. All right.
Well, the Force.
Oh yeah.
The Force saved him. Yeah.
By the Force.
Yeah.
he is one with the Force. The Force.
And then he goes, "Hey, yo." But that was so dope when they were fighting, and then he goes, "Come on!" He goes, I was like, "Let's go!"
He did. Yeah, he got me hyped when he started.
Oh,
fighting.
dude, like I said, dude, I asked you guys at the beginning, but no one answered. I go, "How was your theater?"
Oh.
My theater was just pure fandom, dude. Like everybody was cheering, everybody was having fun. Like
Mine was middle of the road.
mine was like it said long time ago, whatever, and then like the Star Wars thing goes. Da-da-da! Like as soon as that happens, everybody in my theater starts clapping and cheering.
Mine wasn't like that at all.
And
Mine
then
just
like my theater was like that's why I like going to Grand Rapids because I feel like there's more fandom there. Because like when you go here, everybody's just going to go see it.
Holland is very small town USA. Yeah. Everybody just and that's the thing with like everything about this town. Like nobody, you can't show any emotion about anything because it's not accepted. Yeah, we're like, oh shit!
Like, oh yeah, and then
people who
our buddy
were
Cole,
kids.
our buddy Cole Westenoff, he's starting a podcast to talk about this stuff.
Hopefully
too,
nobody's commenting because nobody has anything on for us to see anything. So if you're like
Yeah.
asking us questions,
We're just talking,
dude. Like so, I apologize to anybody that's asked us something or like said something, and we're not responding.
Sorry, but yeah, man, that's why I like going to Grand Rapids to go see all my movies. Like going to IMAX or going to Rivertown and stuff because you're gonna get
I don't know
you're gonna get the fandoms. Like all those people that were dressed up in Star Wars like bounty hunters gear and everything.
Oh no, I'm still going
at the Tulip City.
Yeah.
Comic-Con, whatever. They were all there hanging out.
Yeah.
Like Vader was there. There was like 4 or 5 bounty hunters there, stormtroopers there. And they were hanging out at the theater taking pictures with bands and...
See, in Holland, they won't let you wear any of that shit.
You can't even bring lightsabers anymore. I remember when
we went to go see... Remember when we skipped school to go see Revenge of the Sith?
Yeah, everybody had
you weren't supposed to bring them in. We snuck them in. Like, you weren't supposed to
I remember everybody was fighting outside in the parking lot.
Yeah, we were all fighting outside. Like, we skipped high school to go see Revenge of the Sith, and you weren't supposed to bring lightsabers in, but we all
I had my Mace Windu.
Yeah, we all stuck them bitches in because, we're nerds. Like, but yeah, I mean, I feel more at home when it comes to the nerd, like the geek culture, nerd culture.
In
Grand Rapids, yeah.
Because they got a con, their con is more experienced as far as...
But, I mean, it's just so much more fun watching it over there. Like, even with Justice League, people were cheering in Justice League, like, I watched Thor in Holland, and, I mean, people were laughing, but there was no cheering or nothing.
That's all you can do here is... It's socially acceptable to laugh.
Chino made it a little bit better when I went to the theater. He's not afraid to say shit and stuff. There was one trailer that went on and he was like, whack. Like at the end of it, whack. You could hear him on the other side of the theater. That shit was funny. But alright, so one thing that I didn't like about Star Wars is the Supreme Leader.
Yeah.
What the fuck, dude? Like, what is he? Like, okay... They hyped this guy up so much, and that's it. Like, that's the end of it. Like, he didn't do shit. He sat on that chair.
He was essentially Palpatine. Like, he basically went out like Palpatine, where he was overconfident and he thought he knew the future because like, and then
Right, but I'm saying, but like, there wasn't enough. Like
I think they overhyped him for what he did.
That's what I'm saying.
think that's
Like,
what
I
it
want a
was.
backstory on him. They didn't give me a backstory.
Well, you're probably gonna get a backstory through comics or through a book.
That's what I'm saying. He wasn't
So-
big enough to have a backstory in the
Yeah.
movie. That's my issue with him, because he was supposed to be this guy, right? That brought this order together and all this other shit, and he's the leader. There wasn't enough substance for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I thought that too. Like the moment that it happened, I was like, "What the fuck?"
Like I thought he would stop. You know, something.
I thought he was gonna be like, "Ha ha!"
Yeah, like a re-emerge and shit. And his hand's just sitting there on his throne, his fucking body's down here, and then finally it rolls off when old boy goes in the chamber.
Yeah, see, I
didn't mind him. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, I like that part because it showed, like, when he told them, I'm the one that connected you two.
Right.
And then when he was dead, they were still connected. So clearly it wasn't him. I think, like how Steve said, it was like, he was just too cocky. I think he believed he did it, but they were actually the ones who were just connected anyways. And I think that's supposed to show, like, how powerful those two are. And how young they are. And I like the fact, like, where, like, he could sense what he was doing, but he was still doing that, and then that hand behind his back. I thought that was cool.
That is cool.
So he did deceive him. He let him.
That's the rule too in Jedi lore and Sith history. The teacher always gets killed by the apprentice.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's gonna make for a better 9 because I think I want a full Kylo Ren villain.
Where he's all full out.
Yeah, because now he's like, I'm now the new emperor. Because, you know, he was like, oh, you're not the emperor. He was like, bitch. Like, he started.
Hux is a punk bitch. Dude.
I love
He's a
Hux.
homie hopper.
Yeah, dude, I love Hux. He's so funny.
I like when he was telling him, we should have get focused on this, and he goes, and he like slams him.
Yeah, like mid-sentence.
I'm like, we didn't look at each other. I was like, that dude's a punk bitch. Like,
I don't know. I think he's funny.
He is funny. I'm not gonna lie.
Like he goes, I take the call in my corridor, and then he just also yeah. No, I mean, I think that is gonna be a good part 9 with just the Kylo Ren. Because to be honest with you, I don't want Kylo Ren going to the.
Did you notice
So
that,
like-
that in the story Kylo Ren left with a few students?
Yeah,
it's the Knights of Ren.
Where are they?
They're gonna. I guarantee they're gonna show up in the next one.
Yeah.
Because I was telling him I thought maybe they were the guards, but I was like, nah, they were just guards. But
and they wouldn't have attacked Kylo.
So I'm excited to see, because me and him talked about it, and I thought it was gonna be cool to see Kylo come to the light and have a Solo fighting alongside Rey, but he was like, well, what would you have done for part 9? They need a villain, and I was like, well, that'd been cool as shit to see him and her go up against all of them, yeah. But so now,
is it 3 or 4 knights?
They didn't
I
say
thought there was 5.
They didn't say how many.
Oh no, yeah, there's 4 because
There's 4?
in that flashback he's standing with 4 other people.
Okay, I thought.
And he's in the center.
In the first movie? Or
Yeah,
the
and
seventh?
I thought that
Yeah.
was pretty cool how they gave both sides of what happened with
Oh, and
Yeah.
kind of a little
Luke?
different, just
Yeah.
like little differences.
Yeah, and like he was like, yeah, I felt the shame. Oh yeah, you should feel ashamed.
And then
Fucking
you
asshole.
were trying to kill the guy in his sleep and shit.
Yeah, you fucking coward.
kill your nephew.
It was like fucking like Minority Report. He was like, "Hey, he didn't commit the crime yet, but I know you're gonna do it, so I'm not gonna stop you in half." Like,
Yo, friggin' Kylo Ren was huge in this movie.
oh yeah, when you're shirtless,
That motherfucker got big.
Adam Driver, yeah.
Yeah, Driver, like, his shoulder just blew up. Like, I was like, God damn, that is Nightwing. Like, they maybe dropped the ball on that one.
He said that dude's about like 50 pounds soaking wet. Right?
Yeah, I think that's why they did it.
Because
He's like, I want muscles in this fucking movie.
He was all chest, like his waist was up to here, or his like pants waist was up to
He
here.
was
Just all
pulling a
chest.
Shane.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, he was pulling straight up Shane from The Walking
That's
Dead.
funny.
I thought the standoff at the very end on the planet between Luke and Kylo.
Oh, that was dope.
That shit was fucking dope as
That was
fuck.
dope.
Like, and it cracked me up because it was exactly like how he said. He's like, I'm just gonna walk out there with a laser sword,
Yeah,
take everybody out. He just walks out by himself.
That shit was dope.
I was like, oh hell yeah! But it was crazy because like until you realize what he's doing. You're like, this motherfucker's just fucking sitting
That's
in
what
that
I'm saying. Like, I thought he was like, just stopping everything, or fucking like, making like a dome around himself.
Yeah,
Like,
that was cool.
like, and yeah, it would have been fucking cool. So like, who the fuck was it that was telling me that? Like, if he would have fucking stopped it all,
Me.
Like,
That
yeah,
would've been
yeah.
good.
fucking,
Yeah.
like
Kylo.
Kylo,
shit.
but like show how much stronger he is if he
So
would stop
when I
him.
first was watching that, like I was like that, and then like you see the first thing hit, and it's a red planet. For a brief second,
You thought
Kylo was a red planet, and I go, God damn, look at all his guns! Whoa, wait a second, red planet. Like, I completely forgot it was a red planet. So that first shot hit. And like you see all the explosion on the ground, and you see all the red go up. I'm like, holy shit, he blew up! Like,
guts and shit.
Yeah,
See,
I completely forgot it's a red planet.
Okay, so when they first show the planet, and they show it turn like a red spot, and that soldier goes like this, and he licks it.
And he goes,
I was thinking the same exact thing. I was like, what is that planet made of? And like, as soon as I thought that, that's when he went like this. I was like, man, that's so cool. That you know, like the director is probably like they're gonna be wondering what is this planet. Or whatever, and he gives you that in the movie. So I was like, man, that's so awesome. Yeah, that was so fucking cool. I loved everything like that. Like the director's
what I think I really liked the most about that shit was, like, as he's dueling with Kylo, and like when he's throwing his little bitch fit and he's trying to kill him, and then Luke's just standing there, and then he's kind of doing like a monologue talk over it, like all the way through to the end.
Oh, when he's talking about, like, I'm not the last
Not
Jedi.
the Jedi, yeah, and when Kylo realizes what the fuck's happening, and he's motherfucker.
Well, yeah, he essentially gave the same speech as Obi-Wan did in New Hope.
Yeah,
he goes, you strike me down, I'll only become more powerful. Like,
yeah.
He said, I'll be with you forever.
Yeah,
just like your dad, and then he did become more powerful because at the end of the movie they show the little kids showing the story of Luke.
Legend. And, he embraced being a legend.
Yeah, essentially embraced it. And at the end of the movie, like you see that little kid look up to the stars, like, "Hey, yo!"
And he has that fucking the
yeah, because Rose gave it to her. Yeah. So like, he essentially is more powerful now because he gave hope.
But dude, how fucking sad was that when that robe dropped?
Oh, dude! Everybody in our theater started cheering because like. Everybody disappears when they die.
Well, you see that he was looking at the two suns. Like
Tatooine, yeah. Because like when that happened, I go to Mike, I go Tatooine.
The two suns, and then
two suns went down
because he's always looking at the horizon, like something on the horizon.
So yeah, I mean.
But it was like, and it was funny because it's like the way he went. You're like, damn, he cut himself off from the Force, and then was able to muster all that Force back to do a fucking Force day, to be somewhere else and to physically see his sister. So it was like an overdose, it was like a fucking a heroin overdose of fucking Force, He fucking like
essentially what Logan did, and he shot himself up, and
exactly, and it was just like, dude, when that robe dropped, I was just like,
and then when like
equivalent of Logan, equivalent of Hugh Jackman saying goodbye to the character was just like.
Later.
And then when Kylo picks up the dice, and then they just disappear in his hands, and like I was like, oh yeah, like. Yeah, those dice, they're disappearing, going into your chest.
And then when he went to face Kylo, it's like when he did his hologram projection, he wasn't old with the old beard.
He was younger. He was when he was training. When he was training.
It was like
he was more clean. He was.
I thought he cut his hair out. Like when he went out there, I was like, oh, he got shaved.
I was like, he got just for men and shit. Fucking darkened up and everything.
Oh, he's got a new suit and shit. Like damn. And then he didn't have his lightsaber. He had a blue one, right? He wasn't using his green because he had that green one.
Yeah, he had the blue one.
Yeah.
And the blue one just got torn apart.
Yeah. So do you remember him? Like, now I'm trying to think of it. I don't remember if his footprints were doing anything. Like as far as like picking up the sand. You know what I mean?
He was strong enough to have a physical force there because
he blocks. Yeah, he was blocking him and stuff. But like that's
then
he
kisses and interacts with his sister.
But that's just
I think she knew. I think she knew that he wasn't there. I think she knew that he was there in a sense, but she knew that he wasn't there physically, and that's why she was okay with him going out there alone.
I like how they did that though. Like he did that with how their connection between Kylo Ren and how they could see each other. Well, he couldn't see her, or he could see her, but only her, not her environment.
Yeah.
So it was like
I think that was her closing him off though.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that connection between the two, like that hasn't been done like that before. You know what I mean?
No, because Kylo goes, you can't see where I'm at.
No,
he could see her. He
said, I know you can see me.
But I can't see you. I can only see you.
Yeah, he said, I can't see yours. And then that's why when he was sitting there...
And he had the water.
Because Snook didn't know where he was, and Snook was helping, I guess.
Yeah,
you gotta think that he helped unlock that ability.
Right, that's true. That's good point.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, what if that's just him being overly confident that he did?
Yeah.
Because Luke
I'm sure he- no,
I'm pretty sure he helped.
I'm sure he
Oh,
did
okay.
it and helped, but then at the end, it's
They
like
just
they already
stop
had
it.
a connection. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they are Sith. They're the light and dark.
Oh yeah, because
you know what I
at the
mean?
end of
Light
the
and
movie,
dark.
you know he can see her, and then you see her
Yeah.
close the door, and then he cuts off.
Like to me, it was the light and dark. Like they're the last of the light and dark, right? And now it's becoming where it's like, it's just restarting again. So now it's like,
I mean, from beginning to the end, I love the movie. For me, I think it's my movie of the year. I loved it so much. I just had 2 problems with it. Other than that, I thought it was perfect in every way.
Yeah, I thought it was fucking.
I thought it was a
amazing
really good movie. Yeah, really good movie.
The
And
only
it's fucked up because I lost so much sight of it because I was so hyped up for all the other movies that were coming out. So when it did come, I was like, I didn't even pay too. I'm like,
Right.
with like the Justice League and with all the other Marvel movies, I'm kind of like delve into them and start kind of like figure it out and go into reviews and read everything about it. With Star Wars, I didn't. So honestly, it was that much better because I went there like, oh shit, yeah.
Like,
All right, so I just
yeah.
sat down and like I had no preconceived notion and about no characters.
me and Luke been hyping this movie since like July. We're like, oh my God, it's almost here. It's almost here. Like,
I don't do that with Star Wars just because it has like such a big place in my heart because I used to watch them with my dad all the time that I don't really have to look into it. Like with Marvel movies and DC, there is like a bit of worrying with that, but it's like, I mean, it's Star Wars. Regardless, it's gonna be the bomb, and
I mean, I'll tell you
I don't
what,
think
if-
they're ever gonna make like a Jar Jar Binks mistake again.
if Star Wars were to do like all of a sudden like a Sharknado's going through the space, I'd be like, oh, that's fucking awesome.
There's something wrong with you.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's something definitely wrong with you. Then.
to me, Star Wars can do no wrong.
Star Wars can do wrong.
Yeah,
And they've
Jar Jar
proven
Binks.
that they can do wrong.
The guns, that's why they haven't been around since.
That was the other thing.
Oh, Jar Jar was in episode 2 and 3.
Last point, yeah, but he was an ambassador and he had like 2 lines.
Yeah,
and
they
then
said,
they're
"Shut
like,
your ass up."
you're gonna be in the story, but you're gone. Like you over there, you're a representative. I don't know how he got a administration job. You know what I mean? Like he shouldn't have had one. But that planet, that rich planet. You know what I mean? That was cool. That they've never really done that on Star Wars. It's always been like some shitty, oh, this place sucks. There's the lowest of the low over here. Let's keep going there. But then this one was rich.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of cool. That was a different take on that. So I noticed that.
That was cool when Benicio showed him like there are no sides.
Yeah,
like,
it's war.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
and he was like, see, he sells guns to them, and then he clicks it again, and
guys.
and he was like, what the hell? And that's pretty cool. So I think this new war is gonna evolve. I think it's gonna change. Like how he was like, your war's not done, it's just starting. I think it's gonna become something greater because Finn saw that. And so all these new youngins are taking over, and they're gonna start going it into.
So I think they're gonna end this saga with the Skywalkers in this last one, but I think of course it's Star Wars, so the Jedi and Sith will always be there. So they just set Rey up to be the fucking.
No, well, Daisy Ridley already said that this is gonna be her last Star Wars, or Episode 9 is gonna be her last. She doesn't want to be back as Rey. So, but the thing is though, what is his name? Brian something, the dude that directed.
Ryan Johnson?
Yeah, the 3 movies he's doing, they're going to be prequel. They're going to be before Episode 1 and all this.
Oh.
And everybody's
thinking... So the Old Republic?
That's what everybody was putting on Twitter, and everybody's like, oh, he's going to do Knights. And then he's like, no, I'm not.
What a dickhead.
He goes, don't worry, I'm gonna do it justice, but I'm not going to do the Knights.
Hey man, I based on this movie, I don't think we'll have an issue.
Yeah, no.
If you can take something and go somewhere else completely different, that'd be tight. Like,
yeah.
You can only go so far with a storyline, you know what I mean? Like, you can only go so far before it starts becoming the same thing, so...
Yeah.
I like the movie, go watch it. Everybody else here liked the movie.
Yeah, it was definitely...
It's worth like
it was one of the better Star Wars.
I gave them titties a 10! A 10!
Yeah, it was definitely one of the better Star Wars, so...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I like all Star Wars. I watched all 6 of them, or 7 of them before I went and saw this one.
Fuck no. That was the plan. I never could do I couldn't do it.
That's too long.
Attack of the Clones, I would like to watch that again. But yeah. Is that it?
That's it.
Yeah,
Is that?
I think we're done here.
Well, wait. What? Quick, 3 seconds.
Sex life.
Tarantino, or what's his name?
Tarantino's directing
Star Trek?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, no.
They
Wait,
they already
what?
greenlit.
No, but I'm saying, like, how do you feel? Like,
I think
Quentin
that's
Tarantino's
strange.
That's the weirdest
I'm
combination.
all about it because he's a huge Star Trek fan. He's gonna do the. He's gonna do justice.
It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah,
but it's just so
be.
strange.
That is weird.
But I like.
And
the
he only
fact
wants to do
that-
11 movies. So this will be number 11. So this will probably be his swan song. It'll be his goodbye.
I don't know, man, because he said that. He said that before. He said that he was done after Django or something.
I think that since this isn't really his own, like it's Star Trek, it's already a franchise. I don't think this is gonna count.
Yeah, he's gonna do that. This don't count. This don't count.
Yeah, I mean, that is very Quentin Tarantino.
No, that one.
Tell me that's not Quentin Tarantino.
He's like, that doesn't count. That wasn't me. I didn't do that one. Robert Rodriguez helped me do that one. No, that doesn't count.
Yeah, see, Planet Terror. That doesn't count.
That doesn't count. That doesn't count.
But I just think
I
think that yeah, I know.
What the hell? And Robert Rodriguez is doing a new big movie.
Oh, that in that movie, there was a trailer.
Yeah, it's like that robot chick.
Yeah, I seen that.
I was like, they were showing like all the credits, like Robert Rodriguez. Yes, I was watching the trailer. I was like, that movie looks pretty shitty.
Oh, I thought it looked pretty dope, dude. It looked weird to me. Yeah,
whatever it's called.
Attila or Alita or something like that.
I mean, I'm gonna go see it
It
because
looked
Robert
pretty,
Rodriguez.
pretty
But
dope.
like,
I was like, yeah, Robert Rodriguez did this movie. I was like, that's kind of weird. That looked different.
I don't know. It didn't look interesting.
I like
but I'm gonna see it.
I like it. It looked like AI mixed with like some other shit, but like
Ex Machina.
yeah. Robert, what'd you say? Tarantino, Star Trek. That sounds cool.
I give it a thumbs up.
I'd be willing to see it.
I just rock with Quentin Tarantino.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So I'll give him
There's gonna be some badass dialogue in that movie. That's all I can tell you. It's gonna be
It's
funny.
gonna be the best boring fucking Star Trek ever.
Yes.
The new Star Trek's haven't been boring though.
Yeah,
Is it-
no,
is it-
but
is
it's
it
gonna
part
be
of that-
completely switched from that.
But I'm saying, is it part of that saga, same characters
Yeah.
and everything? Oh, then yes.
Is it?
Supposed to be
thought it
the
was
same
With Chris Pine and everything?
Chris Pine.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah.
But I thought it was a different ship.
I don't know. All I know is it's supposed to follow that.
I don't know.
It might be the same universe, but I could have swore that he said that they were going to go with a different ship and a different
We'll
captain.
find out, I guess.
We'll find out.
Yeah,
I
either way,
know it's supposed to be the same story.
I like the idea of it.
All right.
But, yeah, so check out the movie. Let us know what you guys think. Whatever topics we covered, chime in on them. And if you guys are playing PUBG on Xbox, let us know.
Let us
Drop
know.
down your gamer tags.
Shit's fire.
I'm the only one who got a chicken dinner so
I
far.
haven't got one yet.
I sacrificed myself for everybody.
Still
Yeah,
played it.
if you want, check out our video of us playing. Steve makes me crack up
it's
every
funny.
time we play. It's always
Funny
a good
video.
time.
Funny video.
But
I probably won't play that game for another month or so.
You're gonna be late on it.
listen out.
Assassin's Creed. I gotta finish that first.
This has been Not Your Average Nerds, brought to you by
Reptile Bar.
And Squirt. And Mountain Dew.
Make you squirt, Pedro.
And Powerade.
Alright, see you nerds.
I'm out of here. I'm going. I gotta go pick up detergent. And I gotta pick up some food. And
I gotta go pick up